Hello and welcome to Auspol Explained. I'm David. I explain how the Australian political system works and what's more political than an election. There's an election happening soon and chances are you're not running yourself, but there's someone you'd like to win, so how can you help make that happen? Here are some ways that you can boost their campaign, help them reach more voters, and fingers crossed, actually succeed in winning. First, I need you to understand that democracy is a team sport, okay? Just like cricket and a few other types of activities, you do it with others. Remember that. The message of this episode will boil down to teamwork. Got it? Okay. No candidate is going to win unless they build their public profile, get their message out there, and convince enough people to vote for them. To do that, every campaign needs the following: volunteers, resources, and promotion. So here is a step-by-step guide on how you are going to help win an election, okay? But before we begin, I want you to consider the answer to the following question. How will electing this candidate make people's lives better? Politics is ultimately about helping others. Sure, you may have a lot of criticisms about the competition and can list a bunch of reasons why they suck more than Dracula, but people need solutions to their problems. Obviously, negativity has an important role to play in any campaign, but so does positivity. How will voting for this candidate benefit people? That's what you need to communicate to others, so figure that out, and once you have that, do the rest, okay? Now let's start with volunteering. Volunteering is vital to any campaign. I cannot overstate that enough. An electorate for the House of Representatives has, give or take, about 100,000 voters in it. A Senate quota in most states is even bigger. Electorates for state elections are smaller, but still have tens of thousands of voters in them. Now, advertising helps get someone's name and face out there, but billboards and call flutes don't give you much of an idea of a policy platform, do they? You know what does? Talking to people. One way this happens is door knocking. Door knocking is invaluable, but no candidate can personally go door knocking to every single house unless they're Santa Claus. And even Santa Claus relies on elves. So what you're going to do is be an elf, by which I mean volunteer. Go door knocking. Seriously, try it out. Talk to people. Help them understand why your candidate is the best choice and deserves their vote. The idea of that may make some of you nervous, but door knocking is surprisingly okay. People are actually much nicer in real life than they are on the internet, and if they don't want to talk to you, you just move on. It's also usually a social activity, done in a team, so you have a buddy to help you out. You might actually have quite a lot of fun, but if that's not for you, there are other volunteer options. There's also handing out how to vote cards outside polling places, there's phone banking, and also helping set up and pack down events. So if door knocking isn't your thing, then that's okay. It's just a suggestion. The main thing about volunteering is reach out to the candidate or party themselves and find out what you can do to help. If you're there to support them, ask them how they best need support. But hey, we all remember what I said in the introduction, right? It's a team effort, so help build up the team. Get someone else to also volunteer. I want you to set yourself a target, like I'm genuinely assigning you a goal here, okay? Pick a number to aim for and see if you can convince that amount of people to join a campaign and volunteer. So maybe, try and get at least 5 friends, or, just one, whatever is plausible, okay? But reach out directly to people and see how many people you can get on board to volunteer. Also, then ask your friends to try and set their own recruitment goals to get more of their friends to volunteer as well. With a bit of effort, you've gone from, one person, yourself, helping out to potentially a dozen, if not more. Movements and campaigns grow not because of an individual put in every waking hour of their life into it. They grow because more and more people got involved. Members won't just represent you, they represent your whole community. So get people from that community to join you. You may win over a few votes, or maybe dozens. That may not feel like much in the grand scheme of things, but if you are winning over a dozen votes and your friend is as well and their friend is as well, then that can accumulate and build, and soon it could be hundreds. And those people potentially will talk to others, and it will ripple outwards, potentially shifting the opinion of thousands of people. And while some seats are won by thousands of votes, some margins are only in the double digits, so you might just be able to tip the scales in your favor. So give it a go. The next step is contribute resources. By which I mean money. It costs money to be a candidate, right? You know, it costs money to advertise online or on TV and radio. It costs money to host a website or print leaflets, posters, signs, call flutes, shirts, how to vote cards, etc. You know, you need money just to register to be a candidate. Money isn't the thing that wins an election, but you can't win an election with at least some of it. So consider donating. That could be $25, $50, $3,000 if you're super rich, or just, you know, $5. Maybe you can't contribute anything. That's okay. Talk to others and convince them to consider donating as well. And then ask them to also ask others. It is a team effort, remember? Get friends together, get organized, and hey, fundraise. Candidates fundraise from a bunch of different sources. If you've ever contributed to a GoFundMe or Kickstarter, you know that when people come together, they can collect a lot of money, and that can go a long way towards helping reach people who won't answer their door to strangers. Not everything's about money though. Find free ways to promote the candidate, by which I mean social media. You have it, everyone has it. It's not just about listening into your conversations so advertisers know what to sell to you and also convincing your uncle that the world is flat. It's also a tool for mass communication. I know, I was surprised to find out about this as well. So start using it as a tool. Candidates don't win unless they get their policies out there, so help them do that by sharing their social media posts. Write your own, and also get others to follow the candidates to get updates, learn more, and share those posts as well. Get as many eyeballs on it as possible. But hey, have you considered making videos? Video has a far greater reach than a text post on your Facebook wall. TikTok, for example, is a growing tool in election campaigns and is playing a pivotal role in influencing public opinion, and increasingly more politicians are using it as it becomes the new digital frontier for, like, you know, the youth. So hey, you statistically probably have TikTok. Make some TikToks, make some Instagram reels, some other video things, maybe YouTube, I guess, if anyone still watches that. Remember, you need to be able to convince people it's beneficial, so explain why you care. Explain why that candidate deserves to be elected. Create your own little personal video testimonial to have a different flavor to, like, you know, billboard ad. People want to know why other people would vote that way, and you can explain that. Also, you know how, like, at the end of basically every single YouTube video, the content creator stares directly at the camera and says that you should share, subscribe, comment down below, etc. Like, that's called a call to action. Include your own. Direct people to follow, volunteer, donate, and vote. Again, message people directly and get them to be involved as well. Remember, say it with me, everyone. Politics is a team sport. Work together to have greater reach and get more eyeballs, ears, and whatever other sensory organs on those policies. Also, side note, by the way, if you are going to be having a discussion about politics with, you know, strangers online or even people in real life, my number one bit of advice is to not treat them like an antagonist, okay? Everyone has a reason why they believe something. Try to find common ground and understand where they're coming from, okay? You're not coming into a debate with points to win. There isn't like a score, okay? You're having a conversation with a fellow human being who has their own needs, wants, and that shapes their relationship with politics. And in the end, if you still can't convince them to vote the way you'd like to, at least try to part on decent and respectful terms, okay? Okay, side note over. But what if your preferred candidate doesn't have a good chance of winning? Well, still try. The less people try, the less likely it is for a candidate to win, and so it becomes a self-defeating prophecy. You need to understand that no seat is guaranteed. No seat belongs to any particular political party or member, even if they've held it for decades. Every single election they've had to convince the electorate to vote for them. Every single election is an opportunity for the public to decide who they want to represent them, and that is a decision that shouldn't be taken for granted. Who represents us is something that needs to be earned. It is earned every single time. So if you don't like your current member, make them earn it. Give those around you information, encouragement, and a choice, okay? And if they still end up choosing someone that you dislike, then at least you gave it a go and they made an informed decision. And also consider not every candidate succeeds the very first time. You might be helping to lay down the foundations to familiarize the electorate with the candidate, and at the next election they won't be starting from zero. They can build up from that established profile and might be successful the next time. It happens. Sometimes changing an electorate's political allegiance is a gradual transition to convince more and more people and to reach more and more people. And hey, even if that doesn't happen, if you can make a safe seat into a marginal seat, all of a sudden you'll get the attention of the member, who will be more likely to listen to and address your issues and concerns to make sure they can keep the seat at the next election. They want your vote as well, so you might be able to convince them, hey, maybe there are some things they should take on board. So, campaign for who you want to support, even if you don't think they'll win, and hey, you never know, they just might. Again, no seat is a guarantee until the vote is counted. So, do your best. Campaign, make it happen. And if this all feels just overwhelming and too much, start small, okay? Just talk to one person who you know. If that's all you can do, then that's okay. There'll be attack ads and leaflets and all kinds of external media influence, but at the end of the day, people value the opinions of their family, their friends, and sometimes even their roommates if they're good people that remember to do the dishes on their assigned day. Be brave, okay? Have a conversation with someone, and maybe, even if you don't convince them to vote the same way as you might nudge them in a positive direction. Maybe what they say will rub off on you and influence your beliefs instead. Conversations shape our views, our attitudes, and our actions. Our worldview is not created in isolation. Some people commit to campaigning every day they physically can. Some people go door knocking for hours every weekend, and some people only hand out a how to vote card for, about an hour on election day, and nothing else. And some people just have a conversation at the dinner table to reach over the political divide and try and help other people understand each other. Every bit counts, okay? That's the takeaway. Every single bit counts. Don't feel like you're not contributing enough. I know I've sort of tried to rile you up into like serious action, but just contribute what you can and feel like doing, and that's what you need to do. Remember, you are not alone in this. You are not Atlas. The fate of an election does not rest solely on your shoulders, okay? It can't. It literally, by definition, cannot. Democracy literally means power of the people, plural. There is no democracy without community. This is not about the individual, it's about how we come together, how we work together, how we collectively have input on the decisions that impact us, and how we as a community or state or territory or nation wish to shape our government and parliament. And when you've taken all that on board, there's one final step. Don't forget to vote. Like, that's it. That's the main one. Elections are won by who shows up to vote. So whatever you do at least that. Best of luck. Have fun. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always. And hey, here's a call to action, like the prophecy foretold. Share, subscribe, comment down below if you are getting involved in a campaign this election. Are you volunteering? What are you doing to help out? And hey, if you're considering to donate to a political party, why not also consider donating money to me via my Patreon? I'm incredibly grateful to all my supporters on Patreon. The link is in the description below if you'd like to find out how to support me as well. Anyway, that's all for me. I'll see you at the polls.